Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Ahmad, and in this video we are going to discuss about the letter which is from one GP to the next GP. The important thing is that this type of letter that is from one GP to the next GP can come as a referral letter, and this letter can also come as a transfer letter as well. So in this video we will discuss about inclusion exclusion criteria, and we will discuss about the format of this letter that is from a GP to GP. So please keep in mind, using this inclusion exclusion criteria and using the template of me to write the letter, we will discuss this case note and then we will write the complete letter. And one thing is important that you should keep in mind, that letter from one GP to the next GP, either it's a referral letter, either it's a transfer letter, you have to use the same template. You have to use the same template for both type of letters. So let's move to the screen and discuss how we will scan the case note and how we will write the letter using the approach. Okay guys, so guys, this is the case note and I have already converted the important points in a blue color. Okay, so this is the case note and we will discuss how we will scan the case note to write the letter. So the most important thing is that when we are reading the case note, first of all, what we have to do, we have to read the writing task. And after reading the writing task, what we have to do, we have to read the visits just above the writing task, and the important thing in that is plan. So after reading the writing task and after reading the plan, we can easily write the introduction paragraph. And I have told you previously, you have to include three things in introduction paragraph. The first thing is patient details. The second thing is diagnosis and type of letter. The third thing is purpose of letter. So these are the three things. So first thing here is written that this is a referral letter. The second thing, we are referring for the future care, and now we are left with the diagnosis. So to get the diagnosis, we will move toward the plan. So we refer to GP in the Manchester for the ongoing regular follow-up and explain whole of the condition. Okay, so which condition? Patient is taking glargine insulin, patient is taking lispro insulin. So definitely this would be a case of diabetes. This would be a case of diabetes. Okay, diabetes mellitus. So this is a referral letter. We will take the patient details from start and we are referring for future care. So these three things we will include in the introduction. So now we have an idea that this is a case of referral letter and diagnosis is the diabetes mellitus. So please keep in mind, you have to include only those things which are related to diabetes mellitus into your letter. Which are related. In introduction, include only those things related to diabetes. In social history paragraph, only those things related to diabetes. In rest of the paragraph, only those things related to diabetes. So let's move forward now and start scanning this case note again. Okay, so let's discuss the case note now. I have already, change the color of the important information into the blue one. So you can see from the patient detail that this is important. The patient name is very important. James Salt, date of birth is important. You can include the weight here as well. In the social history, you can see the lecturer, patient is a lecturer, and patient is smoker and the social drinker. These are all important information. Substance intake, no need. Allergies, no need. Then other important thing is the family history, mother and the father. Mother is hypertension and father is a diagnosed case of MI, which is related to diabetes. So we will include these things like hypertension and MI. All right, so after doing this, we can move forward. We can see from the previous history that patient has childhood asthma, chickenpox, measles, asthma, chickenpox, measles, no relation with diabetes, not important information. Tonsillectomy, no relation with diabetes. 2008 overweight, so we have underlined the overweight previously as well. And the important thing here is that in 2010 diabetes mellitus type 2, and patient was started on metformin and lifestyle changes, and diabetes was well controlled. So patient was diagnosed with the diabetes in 2010. All right, so now on 29th August 2022, patient again presented. What were the complaints of the patient? Increased frequency of urine, increased thirst, and fatigue. So these were the important complaints of patient, and the other one was the blurring of vision. Okay, so patient mentioned that I have stopped metformin 2 years ago, and he thinks that I am cured with the diabetes. Patient also reported no GP follow-up or the no annual follow-up. At that time, patient blood pressure was also raised, and that was 170 over 105. So these are the important information. All these important information has relation with diabetes, so we are underlining them. So you ordered relevant blood investigation, and investigation showed blood sugar 10, HbA1c 60, cholesterol and kidney function deranged. So all these were the investigation results. So after doing this, what you will do, you also ordered the fundoscopy, and fundoscopy showed what? Fundoscopy showed early changes of diabetes in both of the eyes. So you consulted the diabetic team reviewed the patient, and they prescribe what? Glargine insulin 20 units, Lispro insulin 12 units before every meal, atorvastatin and lisinopril. And they also advise on the regular monitor of the sugar and the blood pressure and regular follow-up, because patient was not coming on the follow-up, so they requested advice this. And smoking cessation was also advised, and a review was scheduled after the 1 month. So after 1 month, on review visit, patient came for a review, and this was a regular review. Patient was taking the medication and stopped smoking. Blood pressure and sugar charts were well maintained, and patient was feeling very well. But there is important point. Patient has got a new job in the Manchester University, and patient is a lecturer. So as I mentioned that patient has got a new job in the Manchester University, and patient is going from Birmingham to Manchester. So this is the reason that we are writing this referral letter from one GP to the next GP. So what is the plan in this referral letter? Let's discuss about the plan. Okay, so our plan is refer to the GP in the Manchester with the ongoing follow-up and explain all the condition and care ongoing. So we will explain that patient is on the glargine insulin 20 units in the morning, Lispro 12 units before every meal. Patient is on atorvastatin. Patient is on lisinopril. Regular monitoring of the blood sugar, BP, and the regular follow-up and lifestyle changes are necessary. So we have to explain all this condition in the letter, and we will send the patient along with that letter to the new GP. Okay, so guys, this is the letter. I have divided this letter in different headings, like this is the address, the other one is the introduction paragraph, the second paragraph is the social history paragraph, and in the third paragraph I have written the past history of disease. As in this case there is a past history of diabetes mellitus, so I have written all in this. And then I have added today's visit. In the today's visit, patient came for a regular a review, and the patient was demanding referral to a new GP. Okay, and then I have written the conclusion paragraph. So let's start from the address now. So you can see here here you can see this is the date, and this is the address given in the letter. Dear Dr. Robert, then we have written the reference. In the reference we have written the date of birth and name of the patient. So let's move to the introduction. So now there is the introduction paragraph, and I have already told you that you have to include 3 things in the introduction. Okay, so three things. Which three things? You have to include patient details. All right, these are the patient details, and then you have to write about the diagnosis, and then you have to write about the purpose of the letter in the introduction. So what are the patient details, and what is the diagnosis, what is the plan? So I have written in the introduction, I am writing to refer Mr. Salt, a 50-year-old university lecturer who is a diagnosed case of diabetes mellitus type 2 and is being shifted in your locality. Your further care for his diabetes would be greatly appreciated. Simple is that. The three things we have included: patient details, diagnosis, and future plan. So guys, as I have told you that whichever paragraph you are writing, you have to keep diagnosis in your mind. So what is the diagnosis here? Diagnosis is type 2 diabetes mellitus. So keep diabetes mellitus in your mind, and then we have to include the things in rest of the paragraph. So let's move to the social history paragraph. So in the social history paragraph, guys, as we have seen from the case note, that patient was smoker and patient was drinking as well. Patient has a family history of hypertension and heart attack. Apart from that, patient was diagnosed with diabetes in 2010, and he was taking advice on lifestyle, metformin and metformin, which he stopped 2 years ago. So these are the information. You can see from the case note file that I have marked these important informations. There were other informations like appendectomy, measles, and some other things, but they were totally irrelevant to diabetes. These are the things related to diabetes, so I have included in the social history paragraph. I have written Mr. Salt is a smoker and drinks socially. His family history is positive for hypertension and heart attack. There is no need to write like his mother was hypertensive, father was having heart attack. So you can simply write family history positive or positive for hypertension and heart attack. Please note that he is diabetic since 2010 and was advised lifestyle changes and metformin, which he stopped 2 years ago. He stopped 2 years ago. Patient is thinking that I am okay, I don't have diabetes anymore. Okay, so guys, let's move forward. Now we will write the paragraph in which we will include initial visit, or as there was only one visit previously, so I have given this paragraph name of the past history of disease. All right, so guys, you can see that patient was presented on the 29th August 2022. What was the complaints of patient? Like excessive thirst, excessive urination, and patient was fatigued. Patient was complaining of blurring of vision. So I have used medical terminologies here like polyuria, polydipsia instead of increased in thirst and increase in the frequency of urine. So I have saved words here. So I have written Mr. Sal presented with polyuria, polydipsia. In addition, he was fatigued with blurring of vision. These were the complaints of the patient. So when patient presented with these complaints, you did the examination, and on the general physical examination, the only thing in the examination was increased blood pressure, and that was 170/105. So you ordered the relevant blood test and fundoscopy. So relevant blood test and fundoscopy were ordered. Okay, so you ordered these tests. All right, so what were the reports of the test? Test reports show the high blood sugar, definitely HbA1c was 11, and there was derangement in the cholesterol, kidney and eye functions. All right, so we will write test report showed high blood sugar, HbA1c, and derangement in cholesterol, kidney and eye functions. So what you did? Patient presented with symptoms of uncontrolled diabetes. Test results were deranged. Fundoscopy was not normal. So what you did? You will write as a result. You will write consequently. You can write therefore. So I have used the article consequently. What you did? Diabetic team come into the action, and diabetic team advise insulin and some other medications, and they advise on smoking cessation with the regular monitoring of the blood sugar and blood pressure, and they advise a review in the 1 month. So you can write this in a single sentence like, consequently diabetic team advised insulin, other medications and smoking cessation with regular monitoring of the blood sugar and blood pressure pending a review in 1 month. So that's all. This is the past history of the disease. All right. So what you did on the today's visit? On today's visit, okay, the today's visit, what was the today's visit? So today's visit was basically a review visit. You can write on review today. You can write on today's visit. You can write today. Mr. Salt was feeling well and his monitoring chart was satisfactory. He was feeling great and his monitoring chart of blood pressure and sugar was satisfactory. It is worth mentioning that he is going to be moved in Manchester for a new job. This is the point. It is worth mentioning that he is going to be moved in the Manchester for a new job. So this is the history. This is the condition of the patient. Okay, so this is the condition of the patient, and now this is the reason that patient is going to move. So in the light of this, we will write the conclusion paragraph. So this is the conclusion paragraph. You can see over here that in light of the above. What does it mean in light of the above? Like in light of the diabetic history, in light of that patient is going to change the location or the locality. So in light of this, Mr. Salt is being transferred into your care for follow-up care. Okay, for follow-up care. The important thing here is that, so whenever there is important thing, you should write important thing with please note. Please note his ongoing medication include. Here you have to write about the ongoing medication, so that you have to inform the GP that this patient is taking these medications as a management plan of the diabetes. Then you have written, please note his ongoing medication include insulin glargine 20 units in the morning, Lispro 12 units before every meal, in addition to atorvastatin and lisinopril. So this is very, very important. I have already told my students multiple times that there is no need to mention dose of any of the medication, but if letter is a discharge letter, or if letter is from one GP to other GP, in which you are mentioning about the ongoing care and new GP does not know about the status of patient, there you have to write the dose of the medication. So in the discharge letter you will write the dose of only those medications which are given on the discharge, not the dose of those medications which were given in the hospital. You will mention the dose of only those medications which you are going to give on discharge. And in a letter from one GP to another GP who is a new GP, you have to mention the dose as well. So then you will write, should there be any queries, please do not hesitate to contact me. And keep in mind guys, that this line is not counted in the word count. After this you will write yours sincerely and doctor. So this is a way of writing a letter. Okay, so I think I have tried my best to make this easy for you people. You can use this, you can copy this, you can take screenshot, and please keep in mind, if you want to get our services for your OET evaluation of writing, you can search on the YouTube, on Facebook, OET by Dr. Faraz Ahmad. All right. So I am hopeful that up till now, alhamdulillah, I have taught more than 250 students, and our record in speaking and in writing is exceptional. If you have any queries, if you want to take our subscription, you can directly WhatsApp, and number is given in the description of this video. Thank you so much.